Hey guys, what's up? Skahan here. Today I want to go over another Arma 3 classroom. Last time we did a little bit of the fundamentals, navigation and communication, which I believe are probably the two most important, if not the most important things you're going to need to know, at least in its intermediate stage, to really be successful at the game. So we're pretty well on our way, getting the basics done. Here, probably in a couple videos, we'll be switching from a basic starter to a more, what I would consider a beginner stage. So, what I want to talk to you about today, and I just want to reiterate, if you watch the communication and navigation video, please, if you want a little bit more in depth on communication, please go look at my one-on-one communication video, and there is a JTAG video as well. Um, Go watch those two, and they will definitely go into depth. I will be remaking those two videos. I've got really good reviews on them. I will not get rid of them. I will just remake both of them. But today we're going to talk about a little bit of something different. Probably I would say after knowing the last video, this would probably be the very next thing I would learn. And this is exactly what the video says: gearing up. Booting up basically says, hey, I just started the game. Gearing up, this is where we're going to actually learn about the different equipment styles, the different things like that. We're not going to go through every little thing, but we are going to go through a majority of it. Now, we won't need our Arma 3 classroom we set up. We need our virtual arsenal. So let's jump in our virtual arsenal. Okay, and we're going to do this just straight down and dirty. Now, excuse some of the saves that I already have, um, but once you get to this screen, don't do anything. What I want you to do is just look at the screen, kind of figure it out. You can left click and hold. You can drag this around. Right click and hold. You can spin. This area up here, this is your person. This is a vehicle. Of course, primary weapon launcher, handgun. I'm not going to insult your intelligence. You can go over them and read them. And then hide. You can hide all of this. Random. If you click it, your guy will not look like mine. Save. You can save your loadouts. Load, export, import, and try. Try means you basically test it out. Import, you can bring somebody else's loadouts in. Export, you can give your loadout to somebody else. But here's what I want to do. So up here, go through every one of these categories and set them to empty, exactly how I'm doing. This is where we're going to start off with this class. So as we're doing this, I'm going to kind of explain why this is. We're going to make our very first class, or a very important class. Most people don't have them. They literally just sit here and fumble around and do things to that nature. Now, like the map, just go ahead, set it to empty, because that's pretty much what we need to do. Make sure to set all these to empty. These you don't really have to worry about. I use Canvas just because that's my character. Voice doesn't really matter. Traditionally speaking, I just do American. I'm American. Definitely set that patch. Excuse me, I got the hiccups all of a sudden. Set that patch to 0. Now, once you've done this, you got a guy in his underwear. Go ahead, hit save. And as you can see right here, I've got it. Just name him Empty Man, and then just save. Why we do this is, let's say I randomize 3 times. Okay, so this is a kit I have. Instead of me going through each and every little thing and moving it out, if I want to make a brand new kit, I can go to load, click Empty Man, boom, and I can just make the kit. Okay, now we're going to go over 2 different things, 2 different ways to save kits. There's a kit and there's a template. Templates are what I use personally. I believe they are greatly underestimated. They're a little bit more work to get started, but in the end, I think you'll like them. So, but first we're going to do just a regular stock kit. Go ahead, sort this by mod. We're just going to do vanilla. If you have, the same rules apply to just this regular or these DLCs. I'm not gonna do DLC because I don't think that's fair to the community at large. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna make a regular Joe military guy. So first I'm gonna start with uniform. I don't care about the guns. The guns don't make the man. The uniform don't make the man necessarily, but the uniform carries stuff that will make the man. So me personally, I don't like any of these t-shirts, all these, it's pretty dumb. Um, so let's go ahead and look for a good, I don't like ghillie suits. Ghillie suits are terrible. I don't know why anybody would ever want to wear them. Yeah, worn. I like worn. Didn't I take that patch off? Go away. Okay, so we got our uniform. Pick a uniform, it doesn't really matter. Vest, now I'm all about uniformity. But so uniforms, it doesn't really right here. The load, the weight. Some uniforms have it better, like this workers' coveralls don't carry as much as this. Um, so I mean, you don't really want a lot of weight, a load bearing capacity. Um, so we're going to try to make this as best as possible, and like you can see, or as best as possible. That's terrible English. We're going to try to make this as closely realistic as we can. That way you guys can get out there, load your stuff in the virtual arsenal, and go out and have fun and be able to do your jobs. Weight, load bearing capacity. It has a little bit of ballistic protection, but not much, and a little bit of explosive. Now here's where it's really important to consider your load, consider your equipment. Explosive resistance off the chart. RPGs, IEDs, depending on if you're using mods, things like that. Obviously, it has these shoulder patches, it has the extended neck pad, and it has the crotch protector. Um, Pretty much the same loadout as a actual military unit. If you're in the United States Army, you can get some stuff like this. I don't particularly like them in real life. These things just get in the way. Um, but here it gives you substantial protection, but the weight is very heavy. So that's already out of the chute with no equipment except for your vest. You're really low on your stamina. Um, Light, as you can see between the heavy, the GL, and the light, the ballistic protection stays the same, but the explosive resistance drops. Um, to me, if I get blown up, I'm probably not going to make it in anyway. Um, and with mods and things like that, maybe you can prolong it. Um, but my ballistic protection stays the same with the light, and if you look at the weight jumps down quite a bit. So that would be a good choice. Let's see what the carrier rigs do. But see, look, the carrier rig increases my protection, my ballistic protection, slightly increases this and my weight. But what's the weight for this one? So the weight between the carrier rig and the GL rig are the exact same, but the GL rig gives you more explosive resistance, the carrier rig gives you more ballistic protection. To me, knowing what the vanilla game is going to basically put against you, you're either going to be against 7.62 or 5.56, or possibly a 6.5. In the game, I would definitely go for a little bit more protection. Yes, it is the same weight, um, but my two picks would be if you're trying to do like scouts, if you're trying to be a scout or something like that, you're not really going to get into too much combat, go with the light. For this, we're just going to pick the carrier rig, um, just this carrier rig, basic carrier rig. There's hundreds, there's chest rigs. This offers zero ballistic protection, gives you a load. Basically, it only stores your ammo. You can look at the picture and understand that. I did not sort that by mod. Of course, sash bandoliers. Rebreathers. You cannot put stuff in the rebreathers. I'm sorry. Belt. These vests offer limited protection, not as much as you would, so I would definitely go with a carrier rig if you absolutely have to. And a press if you want to be the press. LBVs. Um, but right now we're just going to go with the carrier rig green. Okay. Backpacks, go ahead, sort by mod. This is really up to you. What is your purpose? What are you doing? As a stock standard, I use the Coyote pack, or as the carry-all bags, but you have these assault bags. Obviously, they have, you see the load and the weight. So the more it can load, the heavier it's going to be, things like that. Um, like I said, traditionally I use those. For this one, I am just going to use a tactical backpack. It's a little bit smaller. Um, green looks terrible. Olive. Green. Olive. Olive works. Okay, so now we got our backpack, we got our load. Now we're going to need some headgear. Go ahead, so run mod again. You know, I see a lot of people with bandanas and craziness. That's all fine and dandy until you take a round to the head. If you're using mods like Ace, that's going to be a big problem. I always recommend, if you're going to wear something, do something that has some functionality in it. Um, you know, boonie caps, they don't really have very much more, but notice that, you know, the weight distribution is different. I wouldn't recommend anything unless you were doing it just for looks only. Um, but you also have to be mindful. You take a round to the head, you're dead, and that's one gun out of the fight. We're gonna be realistic here. Let's drop down. We have light helmets. Um, we have enhanced helmets, which give you substantial weight differences. We have combat helmets. So enhanced helmets are probably the bigger ones, are the better ones for ballistic protection wise. And so we have these light helmets, which is decently okay. And then we have our combat helmets. I would say I don't want to get domed. So let's go ahead and get, um, yeah, let's put that one on. Alright, so we're going to go with an enhanced helmet. Now face stuff, it doesn't matter. Me personally, with me using mods and stuff like that, I always wear something over my face, either goggles or this. It's completely up to you how you want that to roll. I'm going to leave that to you. Normally what I tell my unit is that, you know, you don't need freaking red shades. Um, in the game, if you use some mods, and maybe it's in the vanilla, I have not yet to test it, it will give you a tint. So if you wear red shades, it's going to be a red tint. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. I've seen guys that have literally been being shot at and they're like, I can't see the tracers. Well, the tracers are yellow and you have yellow tinted, um, you know, stuff like that. It's sometimes there has been issues with it. So I would recommend, either if you're just going to want to put something over your face, I normally use these goggles, things like that. Night vision, um, let's go ahead and sort these. These that are added on, I never use. I don't see the purpose in using anything with a thermal lens. Um, that just breaks the game, breaks the immersion, it breaks everything. So I don't ever use it. Pick whichever one you want. We're gonna go with tan, obviously. Um, right away. Okay, so here's where my pet peeves and my biases come in. Excuse me. Rangefinders are great. Love rangefinders. You can more than welcome have rangefinders. Laser designators should only be for JTACs and commanders, and those special operations unit. If everybody and their brother has a laser designator, everybody wants to be that one. Oh, there's a tank. It's laser designated. And then that one pilot has to cycle through 15 laser designators to find the right one. Just use binoculars. They literally do the exact same thing. Yeah, they're not fancy. They don't have night vision and stuff like that, but I mean, if you work with the binoculars, you're going to be substantially more whenever you get these pieces of equipment. Of course, then you just cycle through. GPS, don't get a terminal. Um, we'll go through UAVs and stuff at a later date. Watch all of that. Boom. Okay, so now we've got our basic guy here. So what we're going to do is we're going to just click handguns. And I always start from the uniform down and then from the pistol up. Okay? So my bias, I don't like 45s. I think they're really powerful, but I don't necessarily go out of my way to get it. This Zub or Zubra or what they end up calling, I believe it's the Rook or the Bulldog or the Bull. Don't get it. A lot of people are I've seen get it and they're just like, yeah, I've got this big gun. Yeah, you have 6 shots, man. I mean, I can have 15 and 10 and some of these. You have 6. So if you miss all 6, you're going to have to reload. And it's a substantial reload. I think it's like 4 to 5 seconds, which is everything. Um, Whenever I can just take a rook, fire, let's say 15, 10, 15 shots, and then reload in 2.3 seconds. I've timed this. It's in one of my videos. Go back and look at it. I think it's like pistols or something. I went over them. I'm just going to go with the rook. I don't need... I'm going to put a silencer on it because, whatever. And that's what I'm going to leave right there. Launchers, I'm not a launcher guy. I absolutely don't need a launcher. I don't need any of these, so I'm not even going to place them. But my rifle, this is where you need to definitely look at what you're doing. Let's say we're going to be a short to long or short to mid-range soldier, standard soldier, nothing special. We're not going to get any of these sniper rifles. We don't need a DMR. 5.56, 7.62, 6.5. So do I want to have a 7.62? I don't want to be a machine gunner. Well, I'm just going to go down here and I'm just going to pick one of these MXs because I do like the MXs. They are very, very nice. So I'm going to focus on the stats. I want a rifle that can be very, very accurate at a decent range. So if I look at these MXs, I don't want a grenade launcher. So MX, alright, here's where we start. Okay, that went up quite well. Okay, now I'm going to switch to this one. And it dropped. Okay, so this one I'm going to use over these. So what's this one? Okay, see the range went longer on this one. So I think I'm going to use this one. The range went higher. Now we're going to look at optics. It's very easy, right? That's basically how I do it. I am a mid-range, but I do like to have that option because if I can be accurate out close to the range or a little bit over the range, get it as close as possible, then that's where it's at. I don't need a sniper. I don't need any of that. I'm gonna go ahead and sort this by mod. Like I said, I'm trying to customize this a little bit. Me personally, I like hybrid sights, so I'm just gonna have a hybrid on it. I believe those are very good. You can have one of these. These are very good for like the DMR types, but it doesn't have a hybrid sight on it. I do like these for hybrid. Of course, I always do laser pointer for shits and gigs. Let's do that, and we're not going to put any of this on it. So actually, that's terrible looking. There we go. Alright, so now we got this. Now what's left to do? Okay, we're going to go back to our uniform, and now we're going to take everything out. If this bar is filled up, you go hunt it down like a dirty dog, you find it, and you take it out. Finding it may be a little bit easier said than done. There it is. Do it for everything, even your vest. Chances are it's going to have pistol mags and... Alright, so going into our vest, so this we could consider, or going into our uniform, this would be considered we're making our template. I never put anything other than one blue smoke, IR, 2 of each chem, and then I go down here. That's all I put in my uniform. Okay, that's my kit. My uniform, that means if I'm in bad trouble, if I need to actually get away, I can take all my equipment off and I can still be able to signal and heal myself. Okay, go into your vest. What I do for my vest is with these are substantially heavier. I go at least 10 10 mags, 2, 1, 2 hand grenades, 1 medical kit. And then if I go back, I can look at, you know, an IR grenade, or maybe, since I got 1 RGN, I could put an RG there. Uniforms filled. For my backpack, since I only have 10, I love having 15 magazines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 5. Then up here I have 2. I normally carry a stock of 5, so we're going to add 3. If we go to our hand grenades, there's 2 hand grenades and 2 smokes. So I want to take at least 1 hand grenade. That gives me 3. And then I'll give another assorted range of smokes. And I will actually double up on some of them. I will actually add another one of these. And then I'm going to go down and add one of these. And then we're going to just save that. Now, make sure that you don't just click save. And, you know, type it in. I'm going to do Arma 3 classroom kit. Now, that's a kit. It's saved. I can set here, let's go random gen, boom, Arma 3 classroom kit, brings me right back. Okay? Now, what is a template? Skahan, you were talking about a template. What's a template? A template is exactly this. Go through. All of this ammo should pretty much be 0. There's 2, I see. Yeah, right there. This is a template. Basically, I have my pistol. I have everything I need except for my rifle. So I'm going to save this as a template. Okay. So what is the pros of a template? Well, a kit, you have your weapon. It is the fastest way to do it. If you're in a unit or something like that, and they give you a kit, it's your kit. You're in that slot on op days. That's what you have to do. Load it, go. It's too easy. But I was a part of a special forces unit in the game before I became a commander, and I used templates because my mission could change. So maybe I need to carry the saw. I could customize, put the laser pointer on it, and then I would go in, okay, well, I need at least 2 boxes, and then I would say there's 2 boxes, and I would say at least 1 box of that there. I could completely customize my weapon to whatever I needed, whatever slot I had to fill out. If I needed to do underwater, I could do underwater. If I needed to do, you know, close quarters, I was doing sneaky squirrel stuff. There's all different kinds. This is the benefits of a template. Now, once you've got this template, you can try it out. So let's go ahead, or once you got your kit. So just to recap, the kit has a primary rifle, all decked out, ready to go, has your ammo and everything. The template has no primary rifle, but it does have all of your equipment and things like that. All you have to do is add the gun and the ammo. So let's just go ahead, try this out. Now what makes this a decent kit? How do I know this is going to be good? Well, that's what we're going to train right here. We're going to look at the killing ability of this weapon system, the speed that I can move in, stamina drain, and things like that. So at close range, we're going to shoot this guy in the chest. Maybe. There we go. Okay, so that right there, if I take a 6.5 round to the vest, it doesn't kill me. It hurts me. But if I were to take it to the head, obviously, trying to get it there. Oh, no, slightly miss. The helmet doesn't really protect you. You can really go up, and what I like about this is you can go up and see where the round hit. That one hit him right about in the face-ish. That one, yeah, definitely hit him in the head, or helmet. So, um, so it's relatively good. Your vest is going to be the biggest thing you can do. Yeah, I can treat my entity. That's crazy. Um, so next, what we're going to do is how far can we actually reach out? So I'm going to go ahead and rest. My target's roughly about 500 out. So I can sit here and I can practice. Um, Stamina does not want to work today. So we can sit here and see, okay, well, the grouping's relatively tight, things like that. We can look at the drop off of the weapon and things to that nature. Now that my stamina is all the way up here at the top right hand corner and just disappeared, let's look at how fast we can go and for how long we can go. Now these are roughly about a meter square, so let's get in this square. Alright, here we go. Double tap. I can go 18 kilometers or kilometers an hour. Running, I'm running, I'm running, I'm running, I'm running, I'm running. And once it disappears, yep. So if we go back, I would say that's about 30 meters. Each one of these tiles is a meter, and these major lines that you can see is 10 meters, and I was at the other 10 meter mark. So 10, 20, roughly about 25 meters. I can sprint 25 meters before my stamina gets so bad. Now what's the problem with stamina? I can still run. You have no stamina. If I get in an engagement, I mean, even at close range, let's say this guy, I can even hold my breath. See, so stamina is very important. And to show you kind of how this kit works, I can set my backpack down and I get almost 2 full bars. If I'm in an emergency, I can set my vest down and I get 3 full bars. So as you can see, if I get in an emergency and I have to get rid of stuff because I need more stamina, I need to run away, I can start ditching my equipment. And it helps because it roughly gives you a bar. So here's a bar, here's a bar. You got 3 bars already. You can just haul. So we went over the template. Go ahead and hit escape. Go back to your arsenal. We already made our template. We already made our kit. And it just depends on what you want to do. It depends on what the nature is you want to do. If you want to be anti-tank, of course, don't use the Alamut. It's an unguided rocket. This is a guided rocket. These are guided rockets. These are anti-air. The Alamut is very powerful if you can use it, if you really like the Alamut. I personally love the Alamut. I'd rather have the Alamut than the PCML or the Titan launchers or anything else except for this RPG. But that's just me. I like a challenge. I don't like click, lock, and fire and forget, type weapons. Um, like I said, my bias is I don't like night vision or thermal optics. I stay away from them. Hybrid, they work for me. Um, and kind of just to show you. So as you can see, it's flashing. There it goes. But see, you don't need an actual night vision lens. You could just use the ACOG and go through. So I don't really see a purpose in having a night vision scope on it. Thermals, like I said down here, night vision, I don't like thermals. Don't use them. If you use them, you're literally just, you're not using the game to its potential. You got to get better at the game. And once you get better at the game, those thermals, one thing the thermals will do, is they will let you see anything that has heat. However, you figuring out if that's an enemy person or a friendly person, it's a whole different ballgame, or a civilian. Some mil-sim units like the mil-sim I use, very hard to figure out who's who at distances. And if you kill the wrong person, well, you're pretty well screwed. Like I said, laser designators, stay away from them. Let JTACs and things like that have them, special operations teams, commanders, and things like that. If you're a squad leader, team leader, you don't need them. Platoon sergeant, platoon leader, battle space commander, things like that. Yeah, use them. Range finders is perfectly fine. Binoculars, what I recommend. Don't use terminals. We'll get into terminals at another date. GPSs are what I would use. Radios, compass, watch, and the rest of it's history. So that pretty much concludes us gearing up. We made 2 kits that we're going to start using for all of our future videos on our map, things like that. So I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you have a comment, things you'd like to add, knowledge is power, put it down there. You guys will definitely be much appreciated. If you have a negative comment, put it down there either way. We can all laugh at it and make fun later. It just, the way I'm doing this system, a lot of people I have got said, well, why don't you use Apex? Why don't you use these mods and things like that? This, I'm going from the start, someone bought the game, to here, to actually where I do most of my videos with mods and things like that. We're going to progress there. I like how this is going. If you have any recommendations, anything that you guys would like to see, definitely put it down. Let me see it. I will do my best to make it happen. And likewise, enjoy the video, or I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you get to stay with this series. Most of all, go forth and be badasses.